Now today we are going to talk about the second most important part of FICA, which is called Dunning or collection management. So we are already in the collection management path. That means the customer is not paying. Now we have warned them that if you do not pay on time, there will be a late fee. But still, suppose customer doesn't pay, then we go for Dunning. Okay, if you have worked in FI, you know what is Dunning. Dunning is nothing but the collection reminder calls, automated collection reminder calls. There will be various reminder. Maybe we'll send a first we'll send a polite reminder. After that, the verbiage of the reminder letter can be a bit harsher. Then a phone call, automated voice call will be there. Dear customer, your dot amount is due. Please make payment to avoid disconnection. And gradually it gets disconnected. Okay, if it is utility, then the service gets disconnected, or if it is in the subscription side, then the subscription will also be deactivated, or if it is pending for renewal, the renewal will not take place. And in Brim, mostly the payments are received in advance, so Dunning is not that widely used. Any collection things are not that widely used. Mostly in Brim also they have prepaid and postpaid. In the subscription industries, they have prepaid as well as postpaid. So mostly the domestic customer, the home residential customers, they go for prepaid, but the enterprise customer, the organizations which subscribe to a particular service, they go for postpaid. For example, let's talk about IBM. Now say IBM has taken subscription of SAP. So IBM will pay, I mean, individual, what you do, whoever has rented the server from me, what do? You pay first, then the vendor shares the service. So that is prepaid scenario. But in the organization, it is like postpaid, because since their bills are huge, even for mobile as well, telco, telecommunication as well, the corporate plans are postpaid. So for the postpaid, part they have Dunning, late fee and all, but for the prepaid part, this collection management is not that widely used. Now 80% or maybe 70% of the customers are on prepaid, but the balance 30%, which is maybe sometimes which is almost equal to the in terms of revenue, although I mean the number of customers are few, but in terms of volume, in terms of total revenue, you may see that the postpaid total revenue is more than prepaid, because the customers are smaller, number of customers are few, but their consumptions are, sorry, in prepaid the number of customers are huge, but their consumptions are very small, versus in postpaid, although the customers are small, but each of them are consuming huge amount of internet or SAP server, or whatever service they are taking. Okay, so first we will chalk out, you'll talk to your client and we will chalk out that what is going to be the plan, like what kind of reminder we are going to do, and accordingly we will configure it in the system. So first let me see what kind of okay, so here is a plan. So at first we have to decide a Dunning procedure. So basically Dunning are of two type. First is called Dunning by Dunning procedure, and second one is called Dunning by collection strategy. Okay, so we learn first Dunning by Dunning procedure, which is the oldest one, and then we'll move into the collection strategy. First, the classic Dunning we need to understand, then and then only I can explain the collection strategy. So first we'll create a Dunning procedure. What is a Dunning procedure? That Dunning procedure will contain the different norms or different, like how the Dunning will go. Suppose a residential customer will have one Dunning procedure, and a commercial customer or an industrial customer may have a different Dunning procedure. Okay, Dunning procedure is like a combination of different Dunning levels. Each level being what kind of activity is being performed. Like, is it a sending a email reminder versus sending a phone call versus sending a disconnection notice versus disconnecting? Like, after how many days such activities will be performed, in which frequency? Okay, so this will be different in residential versus commercial, because the residential dues will be smaller. Okay, they can create their own, maybe after every 3 days they will run the next Dunning level. But for commercial, if the amount is huge, they don't want to wait for 3 days, they want to do in every alternative days. Okay, so a Dunning procedure will contain all such, like what kind of collection strategy or what kind of email reminder, whether it will be harsh or in what frequency such email reminder will be go. So that the total combination is called Dunning procedure, and that Dunning procedure is assigned at the contract account level. So Dunning procedures, as I told you, that in the contract account we yesterday saw that interest is assigned. Okay, so similarly, the Dunning procedure is also assigned. So different Dunning procedures are created. So maybe and the Dunning procedure may be changed as per the government requirement. Suppose your few customers are located in one state, and that state government's regulation says that you cannot disconnect without giving a prior reminder. After a reminder, you have to wait for 10 more days. After that, you can disconnect. Okay, so each state or maybe the local requirement, according to the local requirement, you have to create different Dunning procedure. Okay, so if my company is providing say subscription into the all 50 states of US, then we may create maybe 50, if not 50, maybe 10 or something. So we have to understand that which states are having same requirement, so all of them can be clubbed together. Now if all 50 state government has different requirement with respect to disconnection, then we have to create 50 Dunning procedure. Okay, so some state will say, let's talk about utility. Say it's a hospital and the hospital is not paying me, and I am the utility service provider. If I disconnect the hospital's electricity, what will happen? A lot of patients may die. Okay, so I mean, that patient's guardian or whoever has their father, mother, or their son, daughter, they will sue us. So that state government may require that even if it is a healthcare facility, even if they don't pay, you cannot disconnect. Or say it's a public facility meaning, say it's a high court. Okay, now the court is in session, but the court did not pay. We send a lot of reminder, but maybe after sending the reminder, they are ignoring. Now I cannot turn off their electricity. Okay, so understand this scenario. Say it's a school, it's a elementary school. The children may fall sick. If I disconnect, they were in a AC room, but I disconnect. So these many, each government may have these different rule. Okay, so that's why we will create one Dunning procedure, and each Dunning procedure will contain all those things, like after how many days I'm going to send the letter, then what is the verbiage of the letter. All those things will be configured under the Dunning procedure. So first we will create a Dunning procedure. Okay, under the Dunning procedure we'll have different Dunning level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, like that. The levels keep on going. Maximum 99 levels can be created. Okay, it's a 2 digit, but I have never seen more than 9. Okay, uh, so uh, so here different levels will be there. So you will talk to your client what are the requirement. For example, say my first level is called email reminder, my second level is called disconnection letter. Maybe because I'm not going to show all 9 levels, but I just quickly, after email reminder, it does not go to disconnection right away. Maybe after that a phone call goes. Okay, so after a few other levels the disconnection letter will go, then I will disconnect, then I will move out. Okay, move out means in utility, if the customer wherever you are located, if you don't pay the electricity bill, they will release the, I mean, they will disconnect the electricity. Now after their disconnection, if you have to move out, right? Because without electricity, how long can you survive? You may use a battery operated fan or something, but you ultimately, without electricity, without gas, you have to leave that premise. Okay, so different levels will be there. After that, there can be, we can send it to a collection agency. We have a separate topic for collection agency. Collection agency means the people who will be collecting on behalf of that company. So 0903 will employ a collection agency and tell them, okay, these are the notorious customers who has not paid my bills. I have done whatever I could, but now it's up to you. If you can recover the money, I'll give you a 5% commission. Okay, then the collection agency will send their like goons and all. They will humiliate you in front of your neighbor so that people can pay. Okay, so for that, different levels are there. Not going to show all the variety. I'm going to show you 3 levels. Okay, so like these 3 levels, you have to decide with the customer like what your client wants. Here, for example, we have first level will be email reminder, second level will be disconnection letter, third level will be actual disconnect. Now here in this system, I cannot show you actual disconnect because I have not connected. That means I must have the contract. If I have the contract, then I have the connection, both in BRIM or ISU. In ISU, the contract has installation. With that installation, we have the connection. Okay. Similarly, in BRIM also, the provider contract has the valid to date. Okay, from the provider contract screen, you'll come to know whether the contract is active or not. Now, since I have not added any contract, because contract is not done by FICA, it is done from CRM. In ISU, it is done from CRM or C4C. In BRIM, it is done from SOM. Okay, so since I have not shown those, I mean, I don't have those thing. That's why I will show you disconnection level, but understand we have never connected in the first place, so there is no disconnection. That is, the expected activity will not work, but from, I mean, the disconnection part will be done from the device management side. We just need to send a uh, service order. Okay, so the service order will be generated, but the service order will not contain anything because I have not connected in this system. I have not connected. If I would have connected, then my disconnection will also have the disconnection service order will have the necessary details so that the device management team can disconnect. Okay, just how we can design, that's why I'm going to show. So we have decided, say there will be 3 levels. Now we have to decide that how long should I wait for the next level to come. Okay, so first we have days in area. Days in area means these are these two, days in area and Dunning frequency. These are very they look almost, I mean, they sound almost similar, but they are different. When I was interviewed in Reliance Jio, I remember they asked me what is the difference between days in area and Dunning frequency. Unfortunately, back in those days, I was working in BRIM project where there was no Dunning, and I completely forgot what are the difference between days in area and Dunning frequency. Okay, although they did offered me the position, but I could not answer this question. Anyway, so let's understand the difference between days in area and Dunning frequency. Days in area means from the due date of a particular document, how long has passed. If 3 days has passed since the due date, then I'll start with the first reminder. Okay, after, next it says second level, it says from due date 5 days has to be passed. So 3 days already passed here and 2 more days will be passed. Okay, that is called days in area. And Dunning frequency is nothing but the difference between this level and the earlier level. So for first level, there is no Dunning frequency because there is no difference between level 0 and level 1 because there is no level 0. So you don't need to put any Dunning frequency for level 1. For level 2, we can put 2 days of difference, that is between 3 and 5. I will wait for 2 more days, then I'll go for the second level. Here also I'll wait for 3 more days, then I'll go for the third level. So always in the days in area side, it will check from the due date how many days has passed. And here we will check from the previous Dunning level, how many days has passed. Ideally, this plus this equal to this. 3 plus 2 more days equal to 5. Again, 5 plus 3 more days equal to 8. like that it will keep on going. Okay, so here in one of the examples, say the net due date, say first is the due date. Okay, then we have days in arrear for 3 days, that is on second, third there will be no dunning. On fourth, the first email reminder will be triggered because from the due date 3 days has gone past. Then on fifth, no dunning. On sixth, the second dunning will kick in. That is, we have waited for 2 more days. That is, from fourth, 2 more days has passed. So we'll go to the second level. Then we will wait for 3 more days to go to the third level. Okay, I hope you understood with the difference of days in arrear and dunning frequency. Let me know if you have any question here. I'll pause for some question. Okay. Now, every time the dunning fails, I may assign some credit worthiness point, because as I told you that the more we default, like we return, we saw if the customer returns, I will add credit worthiness point. Okay, so in the, you may seen that in the late fee there was no standard way of assigning credit worthiness point for interest run. Okay, so if your client says that no, for interest as well I want to assign credit worthiness point, for that you have to enhance. Standard SAP does not allow credit worthiness for installment plan creation, for late fee posting, but they allow credit worthiness point for return. We saw the credit worthiness option available in the standard config. In Dunning as well, you will see that the credit worthiness option is available both in Dunning by Dunning procedure and Dunning by collection strategy. You will see the credit worthiness point is available. So we'll ask the client that how many credit worthiness point do you want me to assign? Say first level failure 10 point, second level failure 20 point, third level failure 30 point, like that. Your client will tell you. Okay, if your client says okay, I don't want any credit worthiness point, then that's fine. Because why credit worthiness point is needed? Because in few of the scenario, like we have seen that to release a security deposit payment, we see the credit worthiness is there, how much credit worthiness is there. Okay, like that. For example, in one of our okay, that is not credit worthiness, that is our maximum credit limit. So in our project, there is a requirement that CA master will have a Z field called maximum credit limit. Say my maximum CA has maximum credit limit of say 5,000, or sorry, 5,000 is too high. Say 500 USD. Now I will run the dunning for the customer if the open item is more than 5,000, and if it is less than 5,000, then there is no dunning. Okay, so that is credit limit, not credit worthiness point. Okay, so this is how we will design the dunning. Then we will go to the system and we will configure in the system. Okay, so this is you have to talk to the client what way, I mean what are the different level name, what are the activity needs to be performed. So here the email reminder will be sent, although here I cannot show the email reminder because that email reminder SOST, all those connectivity, all those things I cannot show in a test environment. Email will be written with some, I mean the developer in the form, the email will be written like dear customer. In one of my utility project there is a requirement like if the customer has moved in and it's the first year of the customer, then the customer will be termed as hello dear customer, this is your total bill. But as soon as the 1 year is passed, then the customer will be sent reminder with the name hello Ganesh Singh. Okay, hello Tijo Joseph. So that was a requirement that like initial 365 days they used to call them as dear customer. Like they will think that after 1 year they may switch the vendor, they may take another electricity or power from another supplier. That's why. So in the email reminder also we have to check that how long is the system date from the moving date. If it is within 365, we will we'll address the customer as dear customer. If it is more than 365, we'll address him with his name. We'll go for the table view 000, name one, name two, first name, last name. Okay, so that is the email reminder. That is the activity. Email reminder will be sent. Next, disconnection reminder. Okay, that if you don't pay by that date, we will disconnect. and finally disconnection at level 3, the actual disconnection will happen. Okay, so here for the actual disconnection, um, generally a workflow is generated. From the workflow a service order is generated, and the service order is sent to the device management team, and they will perform the disconnection. If it is smart meter, then the disconnection gets triggered right away, but if it is non-smart meter, then one person will travel to the customer's premise and manually disconnect the meter. Okay, those part is not handled by FICA. Those our part is to send the disconnection, like generate the service order. In the service order, I will mention that what is the reason for disconnection. Like device management team will get a lot of service order for disconnection. So one of them is called DNP. Okay, this is called did not pay or do not pay. Sorry, disconnection due to non-payment. This is called DNP, disconnection due to non-payment. There can be various disconnection. For example, suppose I got a job offer in Bangalore. I get shifted into Bangalore with my family. I stayed there for 2 years. Then I got a better offer in Kolkata. Then what will happen? I will relocate from Bangalore to Kolkata. Now, when I relocate, I will disconnect my, whatever Karnataka State Electricity Supply Corporation or whoever is supplying electricity or power into that premise. I will ask them to disconnect. Else, what will happen? I will come back from the premise. Another tenant will move in, and that tenant's bill will be coming to me because I have not changed the name yet. So it is, I must, before I leave, I must change, or I must communicate them. Okay, please refund my security deposit because I'm moving out from this premise. Okay, so that is also disconnection. That service order will also be created. But not by us, not by FICA team. This is disconnection due to non-payment. Okay, like that, different disconnection notice will go to the device management team, or if they have FSM, field supply management, this module they will handle. But this is one type of disconnection where uh, due to non-payment, and this is owned by, the trigger is owned by FICA. Rest the disconnection though will happen by the device team, done by the device team. So overall, this is the concept. Now let's go to the system and configure the system. Business transaction Dunning notices. Okay, so first we have defined Dunning procedure categories. You may or may not define it. This is again for reporting purpose. There are different Dunning procedure. One for standard Dunning, one for installment Dunning, one for residential commercial Dunning, final Dunning, large industrial Dunning, government Dunning. Like that, different Dunning procedure categories are created. This is for reporting purpose. Okay, if you don't create, later it needs to be assigned. If you don't create and don't assign, that will also work. Or if I need to assign, I can use any of them. Okay, already 24 such Dunning procedure categories are already created, come out. Similarly, Dunning level categories, same thing, 52 Dunning level categories are there. Reminder, legal proceeding, these are not Dunning level. These are called Dunning level category. When I'll create the Dunning level, I may or may not tag or assign the Dunning level categories. Again, this is not necessary. If you want to assign, you can see this is called door hanger. What is door hanger? In US, it is very popular that suppose the field service agent who goes to the customer and uh, to disconnect the meter. Now what will happen? Say they did not pay, but while during disconnection, they are not at the home. They know that somebody from this company will come and disconnect. So what will happen? They are not at home. So if the person cannot enter, they will not be able to disconnect. So they will type a sticky note. They'll write something in a sticky note and they will attach it at the door, saying that we will come again in 2 days. Okay, we came here to disconnect. You did not pay, blah blah blah. We came here to disconnect, but you are not here. That is called door hanger. Okay, like different move out, reminder, telephone, like different Dunning level categories are there. Remember, Dunning level categories are not mandatory. Dunning levels are. Now each Dunning level I may or may not assign a category. Okay, so again, this is not mandatory.
So this configuration and the configuration which we do from finance head Dunning procedure, both are
Different,
different or
different,
any? Hmm?
different.
Okay.
Your F110 is different. Here it will be FPVA. Okay, like your
Okay.
FBZP and our FPY1 are different. Here also it is different.
Yeah, FBMP, I think. Yeah. So that Dunning finance configuration is totally different. Means even it is there, then also we have to do, and
Here, yes,
even it
like
is not there, then also we can do independently here.
yeah. Like your FBZP, even if you create FBZP, you have to come here FQP1, FQP2, FQP3. Your FBZP payment methods will not come to FPY1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
So here, first we'll go to configure Dunning procedure. Okay. As we told, different Dunning procedures are there. So first I'll create a new entry. Okay. I need a number which is not used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Very good. People are practicing religiously. 19, 21. Okay. 22 is missing. So I'm going to create 22. Okay. Do I have 09 or 03? 09 is there. 03 is there. Anyways, I'll create 22. Okay. So after 21, 22, 3 are missing. So I'm going to create 22. I'll call it uh, 0903 Dunning procedure. Okay. Ideally, what happens in my Australian utility project, Australia has 5 states, and they used to have 5 different Dunning procedures. They have NSW, South Australia, NSW is New South Wales. Then I forgot the state names. It was long back. So they have Queensland is one. Okay, Actu is one. Like that, they had different 5 states and 5 different Dunning procedures are there because each state had different legal requirements. Victoria was one state where I went. Melbourne, their head office is was at Melbourne. Anyways, so here in it will not be like your company's Dunning procedure. It will be multiple Dunning procedure will be there. I'm going to show you only one Dunning procedure. So accordingly, the name will be there. Like state one, whatever state, Mississippi one, then maybe uh, North Carolina one, Florida another, California, like that. Different Dunning procedures will be there. Okay. So in real project, you will not see that so many numbers already created because here a lot of people are practicing. That's why I'm running short of the numbers. I just found a number which is not in use. Okay. Here you will tag the category. You may or may not tag. As I told that it is not needed. Even if you don't tag, it will fine. But since people have created, so it is my residential consumer Dunning. Okay, I'm just tagging. It doesn't make any difference if you tag or not tag. Okay. Next we have installment plan Dunning procedure. So if the customer is on installment plan, I don't want to use this Dunning procedure. I want to use a separate Dunning procedure. That way you can assign. So we will learn about this when I go to installment plan. Remember, we did installment plan, but we deactivated manually. And I told you that installment plan can be deactivated via Dunning as well. So that part, when I'll show there, I will show this installment plan Dunning. So right now I'm just keeping it blank. Here, what will happen if we reach the last Dunning level? Okay, so I'm going to create 3 Dunning level 1, 2, 3. In real project, you will see 7, 8, 9, maybe 9. Now the customer is at 9th Dunning level. What will happen? No Dunning, no output in log. Okay, so after 9 level, next still did not pay, customer did not pay. Now I'm running again. I will, if I put blank, then there will be no Dunning and no output. If I put 1, there will be no Dunning, but there will be some output saying that this customer has already reached the highest level. If I put 2, done after end of frequency for all line items, even if it is finished, say it is at level 9, say in my example, I am at level 3. Okay. Now if I done again all item will be given level 3. So there are three open items. All of them will be assigned level 3. Okay. If you choose 2. If you choose 3, dunning for new overdue items only. So I have 1, 2, 3 invoices. These 2 are already at level 3. And the new one, then I will not done these 2. Okay. I will done the new one, and new one will start from level 1. Okay. Dunning for new overdue items only, or dunning at the end of all items. Okay. Not only new, old ones will be. So in this case, if I choose 2, the new one will directly receive 3. Okay. So they will be skipped. Mostly the clients, from my experience that I have seen, the clients do not want that each CA will have multiple dunning levels. Okay, say I have 3 receivable. There is one CA called Ganesh, and Ganesh has 3 open items, 3 invoices: January invoice open, February invoice open, March invoice open. 3 invoices are open. Obviously January invoice, it is at level 3. Say February invoice also at level 3, and the new invoice came. Just the March invoice came, and uh, when I run dunning, I don't want it to go to level 1. In that case, what will happen? Same CA, 2 items are at level 3, 1 item is at level 1. The client do not want to do this because this will complicate the scenario. They want all of them, each CA will have only 1 level. So they select number 2, done at the end of dunning frequency for all line items. Okay, so done all line items. So I'm going to assign 2 here, 2. Okay, next factory calendar. Because I will run dunning on the weekends, I don't want to run dunning, so I'll just assign the factory calendar of US, standard US. US. Okay, then behavior of credit. If my account has open credit, what will happen? Done all items, ignore credit for dunning balance. Okay, all items. Next one means done all items, consider credit for dunning balance. Say I have the customer has 3 receivable. One is ideally they'll clear by auto clear, but maybe due to some reason they are not cleared. Both debit and credit are available. Say first item is of $10, second item is of minus $8, and third item is of $30. If I choose 0, ignore credit balance, that means only dunning will happen on 40. Minus 8 will be ignored. Okay. If I choose 1, dunning will happen on 32. That is, all item consider credit for dunning balance. Okay. If I choose 2, this customer will not be done at all because it has credit. Do not done. Okay. Different controls are there. Mostly we choose 1. Okay. Consider credit for dunning balance, because the customer will say, I have paid $8. Why are you dunning me for the entire 40? It is your problem, you could not clear. Okay, maybe whatever reason, some issue, some system glitch, due to which I cannot clear my minus 8. So the customer will say, I paid you na $8, you should done me for 32. Why are you dunning me for 40? That's why consider credit for dunning balance 1 is all mostly used. So I'll choose 1. Then there are other some lot of this thing, like do not reduce dunning level. Do not reduce dunning level means it is not reduce, it is like increase or stay at the current level. If you check this, say I have 2 receivable. One is lying at level 3 and the other one, okay, let me to explain this, let me do press the F1. It has a very good explanation. Has the effect that dunning levels of the item of in the dunning run are not restricted to the dunning level of next highest blah blah blah, whatever is written. Let's go to the example. It says a receivable has reached fourth dunning level. Okay, So let's go to here. Say there are two invoices. Okay. Now the first invoice has reached fourth Dunning level. Okay. Now the residual and has been partially paid. So say it is of 100 and $40 is paid. So $60 is left and that item is at level 4. Next, the residual amount is subsequently grouped with other item in one Dunning notice. Then a new item came. So here we have $60 left. This $60 is grouped with a $30. Say the second invoice is of $30. Okay. So for Dunning, now I will check, okay, how much is due? $90 is due. 60 from the first invoice and 30 from a new invoice. Okay. Group with other item in one Dunning notice. However, as a result of partial payment, the amount limit for the fourth Dunning level is no longer reached. Now, for each Dunning, you will see amount limit. That is, say I have mentioned that I will not done if the amount is less than 100. In this case, my total amount is 90. This is less than 100, so now it will not move to level 5. Okay, because the total balance is less than 100, and in the level 5 I have mentioned a threshold of 100. That is only run Dunning level if $50 is overdue. So if $100 is overdue, if it is less than 100, it will lie at level 4 only. Okay. Now amount limit for fourth Dunning level is no longer reached. The Dunning notice created therefore receives Dunning level 3. Okay. Okay, sorry, not for fifth, so for fourth. Say on fourth level also we have $100 restriction, but my summation is coming as 90 and we are at fourth level. If you set this indicator, the item that has been partially paid receives Dunning level 4. If you do not set this indicator, the item receives Dunning level 3. Although it has reached level 4, but still now due to partial payment, it does not satisfy the level 4 threshold. Level 4 threshold says 100, but after partial clearing, even if it is grouped with other item, it is still at 90, that is less than. Then if you set this indicator, it will receive level 3. Okay. if you if you do not set this indicator, it will receive level 3. If you set indicator, it will receive level 4. Okay. So here it says do not reduce Dunning level, then it will not reduce, although it will not be demoted from 4 to 3, it will remain at 4. Okay, so all those things is not needed, so just save it. I have less than 1 minute, so we'll come back again. So Dunning procedure is created. Next I will create Dunning levels. Okay, I'll start, but anyways we'll connect again. So now I'm going to create Dunning level and click on new entry. First Dunning level 01